Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. Friends, I started off excitedly and I was thinking I was going to make around 4 or 5 videos this afternoon to evening. But unfortunately, I could make only 2 videos and then I had to take a large break because my throat started to hurt again. So I'm back again. It's around 7:31 p.m. on 30th of November. I had plans to do 2 HIV videos, one in English and one in Hindi. That's going to be postponed for tomorrow. But I think I've got to take it easy or else I'll be off for a longer period of time. So this is going to be my last video for today, and this is being done on 30th of November, and you're going to see it on the 1st of December. But this is a very important news. I wish I could have brought this to you a couple of days earlier. The news is that FDA is investigating all the CAR-T therapies that it has approved so far. And basically, all of them are autologous CAR-T therapies that it is looking at, and they are targeting BCMA or CD19, those 2 targets. So I'm going to talk more in detail about that, and I'm going to tell you what it means for CRISPR Therapeutics and all the companies in our list, many of whom would be doing CAR-T therapies targeting BCMA and CD19. So with that said, let's get started. Welcome back, friends. First, let me show you the news article, and here it is. As you can see, it says FDA investigates serious risk of T-cell malignancy following BCMA-directed or CD19-directed autologous chimeric antigen receptor CAR-T cell immunotherapies. So BCMA is B-cell maturation agent, and CD19 is a marker which is being used for certain cancers. So overall, at the headline level, if I look at it, it seems to me that any CAR-T cell therapy which targets BCMA or CD19 and is autologous is the one that FDA is concerned about. So this could mean that allogenic is probably not being looked at, or will allogenic therapy get extra scrutiny when it comes for approval. So we'll talk about all these things, but first let me break down this entire press release that we have here from FDA. So I've gone through this whole thing and did a bit of reading, and I'm going to try and present to you my overall understanding. I've made a list of points that I want to talk to you about, which summarizes this particular press release, and it also summarizes my thoughts about additional information I would like to know and how it affects the companies in our checklist who are doing CAR-T therapies, whether it's autologous or allogenic. Okay, the FDA is currently investigating a serious risk of patients developing new cancers after receiving highly effective CAR-T oncology drugs. Reports of T-cell malignancies, including CAR-positive lymphoma, have been received, with some patients requiring hospitalization or experiencing fatal outcomes. The potential risk of T-cell malignancies is deemed applicable to all current approved CAR-T therapies, not limited to a specific product. This includes CAR-T therapies targeting BCMA and CD19. Mentioned CAR-T products include Yescarta and Tecartus, that is Gilead Sciences and Kite Pharma, and Chimera, which is from Novartis, Breyanzi, which is from BMS, and Carvykti, which is from Johnson & Johnson and Legion Biotech. And the FDA notes cases of T-cell lymphoma from Breyanzi, Carvykti, Chimera, and Yescarta in its adverse events reporting system. So having looked at the number of reports that are coming in, FDA has now started thinking that this merits their special attention. Gilead Sciences expressed confidence in the safety profile of Tecartus and Yescarta, emphasizing continuous monitoring and cooperation with the FDA's data analysis request. Novartis expressed confidence in the benefit-risk profile of Chimera based on treating over 10,000 patients without identifying a causal relationship with secondary malignancies. Bristol Myers Squibb stated that among 4,700 patients treated with Abecma or Breyanzi, none developed CAR-positive T-cell malignancy, and the company remains confident in the safety profile. Legend Biotech highlighted that T-cell malignancies can occur in multiple myeloma patients without CAR-T treatment and provided incidence rates for context. Johnson & Johnson shared post-treatment surveillance data for CARVYKTI with the FDA and is actively working with the agency to assess safety signals. And CARVYKTI has been used in 2,000 patients with a favorable risk-benefit profile. Analysts view the T-cell lymphoma risk as low, considering the small number of reported cases. However, they acknowledge potential underreporting to the FDA. Benefits versus risk and FDA stance is something that we have to look at, because when it comes to the companies, the way they view risk and benefit will be different from the way FDA views it. Because from the FDA's point of view, they are the gatekeepers and they are the ones who set the benchmark. And if they look at cumulatively all the CAR-T cell products that are going into the market and the total number of complaints that are coming and the percentage, if they think it is statistically significant, they may act regardless of the fact that a particular company may have a good safety profile. So despite the investigation, the FDA currently believes that the benefits of CAR-T therapies continue to outweigh their risks. There is no indication of immediate withdrawal of approvals, and the risk of developing secondary cancer, including T-cell malignancies, is acknowledged and already labeled as a class warning on the CAR-T therapy labels. And when it comes to this kind of class warnings, right, it's legally a very elegant way of insulating the risk. But I'm going to a surgery shortly, maybe next week or something, to get a cyst-like thing removed from the bottom of my head, somewhere out here. And they're going to put it for biopsy to make sure that it's not malignant or anything. So they asked me to sign a waiver in which they said that I understand that risk if I was given blood, and I had to sign it or else I won't get the surgery. So as you can see, like, we may know that there is a risk, but there is no way to avoid it. Either don't take the treatment or accept the risk and take it. So that's how it seems to be right now. I didn't have a choice. I have signed the forms and I'm going to go for it. And I know that it's going to be a small operation and I won't receive any blood. So I'm not worried in this instant. But if it was a big operation, then I have to receive blood. I'll definitely be worried about hepatitis B or HIV contamination. So it will be a different question for me at that point of time. It's also a question of how much informed consent people have and how much they understand what they are signing when they sign these kind of waivers and accept these kind of class warnings. Well, anyway, I digress. Let's come back to the topic. CAR-T therapies have significantly transformed care for various blood cancers over the past several years. However, the investigation poses a new challenge to the class, which has faced difficulties reaching more patients. And the cancer risk is believed to be associated with the viral vectors used in delivering cell and gene therapies. And FDA has mandated 15-year long-term studies to monitor safety profiles. And the challenges faced by CAR-T manufacturers include competition, supply shortages, and manufacturing pauses, leading to sales declines and difficulty meeting demand. In summary, FDA investigation into T-cell malignancies associated with CAR-T therapies and the responses from the manufacturers, the perceived benefits versus risk, and the broader challenges faced by the CAR-T industry, continuous monitoring and collaboration between regulatory agencies, manufacturers, and healthcare providers are emphasized to ensure safety of patients undergoing CAR-T treatments. But that said, the question now becomes, okay, we know that the FDA is going to look very critically at CAR-T, autologous CAR-T cell therapies targeting BCMA and CD19. So does this mean that allogenic CAR-T therapies are out of scope? Or does it mean autologous CAR-T therapies targeting targets other than BCMA and CD19 are okay? So I don't have any answer to that because it's not mentioned here. Having said that, I think we have to go back and look at the pipeline of the companies that we are following to get an idea of who are all likely to be impacted. Because if any of these companies are doing autologous BCMA or CD19 CAR-T therapies, then they are likely to face a longer scrutiny and probably their approval will get a bit delayed. That's my personal opinion, not financial advice. So let's go to each one of those companies and look at their pipeline and see how many of them match the criteria. And yeah, let me take you to the pipelines first. Let's start with CRISPR Therapeutics. So in CRISPR Therapeutics, we have got Exacel and all. Okay, that's not to be worried about. Let's go to oncology. This is anti-CD19 CTX. It's a CAR-T therapy and allogenic. It is allogenic. It's not autologous. So I'm going to give benefit of doubt to allogenic because the allegation that's being made is that the modified CAR-T cell, which is sent into the body to defeat cancer, somehow mutates and become cancerous. And that's the reason why they say autologous CAR-T cell. But if you were to look at allogenic CAR-T cell, it comes from a third-party donor. And allogenic CAR-T cell, if it becomes carcinogenic, it's more likely to be destroyed by the body because it will no longer be hidden from the immune system. Whereas the autologous CAR-T cell is from the same person's body, therefore the body will not be able to get rid of it easily because it assumes that to be part of the body. So that's the way I understand it. That's why I think allogenic might probably be a bit superior. So I'm going to give the benefit of doubt here to allogenic and say that allogenic might not probably have as much challenges, but one never knows. So it's just my personal opinion. Now, if we look at the next one, it is also anti-CD19. This is also allogenic because most of the things that CRISPR is doing is allogenic. CD70 was never involved in this thing, so I'm going to let it go. And we have anti-BCMA CTX121, which is in research stage, so we don't have to worry about it right now. Anti-CD83, anti-GP3, no, that's nothing to be worried about. So that's all done. Now let's go on to look at Beam Therapeutics. And in Beam Therapeutics, do they have any CD19 or BCMA? No, they have CD7. But no CD19, and yeah, so that's it. And then let's go on look at Intellia. So if we look at Intellia, they don't have any CD19 or BCMA. Let's look at Caribou Biosciences. CB010 is a lead stage allogenic CD19 CAR-T cell therapy. So this is allogenic, it is not autologous, so I'll let it go. Same assumption like we did for CRISPR. CB011 is a BCMA and it is allogenic, so I'm going to let it go. Same assumption like before. CB012 is allogenic and it doesn't do BCMA or CD19, so that's okay. And then we look at, this is CAR-NK program, so nothing to do here. And then let's look at Verve. So in Verve Therapeutics, if we look at their pipeline, PCSK9, ANG, PL, PTL, and LPA. So they don't have any BCMA or CD19. So that's also taken care of. So friends, it seems like when you look at all these companies that we have in our watch list, most of them have got allogenic CAR-T therapies, so they should be out of the woods. However, we'll have to watch the FDA announcement in this area closely going forward, because if this gets, if this goes in the wrong direction, we can expect share prices to fall quite rapidly because this adds on a lot of risk. So we have to keep a watch on this. Let's go to the TradingView platform and have a quick look at what our genomic shares are looking like today and see if this news from 2 days ago has had any major impact. So CRISPR Therapeutics definitely had an impact out here. Just going to magnify this. CRISPR Therapeutics definitely did face an impact out here, and I bet it has the same news here. Here's why CRISPR is a great, no, there is no news here. But I think that could be a factor for the stock price falling down. Let us look at Beam. Beam also has fallen down. Caribou Biosciences. Caribou has not suffered as much as CRISPR has suffered. So I don't think the market has registered this particular issue as detrimental to our allogenic gene therapy companies. That's the way I would look at this. And in any case, autologous becomes more logistically challenging. Allogenic is more elegant and readily available. And therefore, I think that over a period of time, allogenic is likely to overtake autologous therapies because of greater efficiency, lower cost of production and distribution, and ready availability. So it's a silver lining that I can say. So my friends, I hope this gave you some information for you to look at your own portfolio carefully. And these are all my personal opinions. You guys know that I'm not a scientist or a doctor, but based on all that I read in the FDA article, the very bottom line is that autologous CAR-T therapies are being targeted if they are targeting BCMA or CD19 because of T-cell malignancies that have been noted. There are not too many of them. There are a very limited number of reports from various therapies that are already approved by FDA targeting CD19 and BCMA. So the range is very limited, and all the companies involved in those cases are cooperating readily with FDA. So it's likely to get resolved. Personally, I do not think allogenic CAR-T targeting CD19 or BCMA is going to have any trouble with FDA, but we never know. So we keep our fingers crossed. The market doesn't seem to have punished our genomic therapy companies, especially the ones that have got autologous CD19 and BCMA therapies in their pipeline and in clinical trials. But we will watch this area carefully, both from the company's perspective, also from the FDA perspective, so that we can get advance warning if something negative is coming up, so that we can either put a covered call or sell the shares before they drop. With that said, I would like to bring this video to an end. Thanks and have a great day. Bye for now.